Shit, look clean to me.
Holly made this beat, baby.
Hello again. Welcome to another episode of Kickinit with Keisha, Casey, and Vonnie. Hello.
I'm Keisha. I'm Casey. And this is Vonnie. Well, as you can see, we have a special guest today. We have Detroit's own queen. And I mean, I'm not going to say she's the queen of comedy. I'm just going to say she's the queen of Detroit. Miss Coco, let's give her a round of applause. I say she's the queen because she has been on Detroit radio, Detroit TV, Detroit movies. She represents Detroit to the fullest everywhere she goes.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. And yes, while y'all talking about Tubi, I'm in the movie on Tubi. Listen, I don't know what y'all experience is, but Tubi did me good. Yeah. Listen, I got that check stuff, so I'm just saying. The movie is called Red Flags, the movie. It's myself, KDZ, Royce Reed for one of the Basketball Wives, Shawnee D. Go check that movie out on Tubi.
It was funny. It was really
yes,
funny.
it is really, yes. And y'all, I'm going to have an auntie something. Tell y'all this. I got an auntie wig on, so my hair is different. God. They had me with a hot-ass wig on. One of them, I got to go to court for my stepson wigs. That's what I had. Ladies, welcome. I'm glad y'all had me on the show.
Just got right.
No, we just stuck right into the conversation. I'm trying to sit so my okay, there we go.
Yeah, there you go. Show that. Okay, they sitting up.
They sitting right.
Girl, only for a minute. This ball came from Amazon. It was $12.
Hey, you could get everything.
And you can find some good deals on Amazon.
Oh, Amazon got us in the chokehold though. Yeah, or maybe it's me.
Yeah.
Because anytime you wake up at 3:00 in the morning and you be looking at stuff like,
wow.
You be half
neglecting your sleep.
Yes.
Neglecting your sleep.
Phone about to fall out your hand. I said, I do need some green forks though. I do. Got you.
Don't even need them, but Amazon got you thinking that you
yes.
Need. Right,
yes.
right.
They got us.
Speaking of Amazon, we're gonna jump right into what we want to jump right into. So, as we mentioned, so you guys, you see how Coco is. She gets right into it. She's very open, very honest, and we just love her. So we hope to give you a good show. So, Miss Queen of Detroit Comedy.
Oh, that's a lot.
Always working. You've been on the radio, like you just said, your Tubi movie. You've been on TV. You've been a staple in the city. Just, Coco the comedian. Everybody knows your face by name. When you say Coco, they think of you. Yeah. How does that make you feel? Being like a legend. You are a legend.
Definitely.
So I'll be trying not to cry, right? Okay. So that's the other part. Like, people know me for comedy and radio and all that stuff like that, but I am really, I am really like cemented in my people. I'm about my folks, my people, especially women. So thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for blazing the trail. Thank y'all for having a podcast. Thank you for everything you all doing, because if it wasn't for you all, I wouldn't be. So it's like when you run the race, you see track stars and they run the race and they pass the baton and they never look back. They just know it's somebody there to get it. So I feel honored that I passed the baton to y'all and y'all grabbed it and then y'all run and then y'all pass it to somebody else. So it is, some days it's real easy. Like I get up and it's okay. Any day that I wake up, it's good. I'm a really spiritual person, so let me say that. Okay. But some days it's a lot. Some days I wake up and I'm like, okay, I got 3 things to do today. First of all, that's 3 different outfits. And then you got to take at least 2.5 showers because you don't
put your clothes on.
You got to do that.
Yeah.
And then you really I have to meditate a lot because my morning may start off and I'm doing a breakfast for women that are victims of domestic violence and sexual assault. Okay. So I may do that from 11 to 1. Then from 3 to 5, I may be out doing a community event with some children or whatever. Then at 8 o'clock, I got to do a show. So it's like I have to constantly shift gears, and it's made me learn a few things. You really have to be mindful of the people that are around.
Yes.
Because people will draw on you and pull on you. And that goes with that. Like y'all friends. So there are times that you may be strong and they have to energize you.
Right.
And there's
Right.
times where you a little weak and they have to energize you. But if it's constantly the same thing and the same person and they never pour into you,
Yes.
then they don't have it.
Yes.
And that's the part that's hard for us to get. Like some people don't have it and maybe they weren't taught how to pour into other people.
Right.
Some women weren't taught how to
Mhm.
give a compliment.
Right.
Some women don't know, and I'm talking about women because we the bomb. I
Right.
just want to say that.
I love
But some women weren't taught how to love on other women and be nurturing and be supportive and just to be there. Sometimes you just need somebody just to be there. Like I don't need you to do nothing.
Just
Be like,
by
sis,
my side.
yeah, we just gonna sit in the car.
Your presence.
Listen, we gonna sit in the car and drink this pink Moscato.
Mhm.
And I ain't smoked a cigarette in 1,000 years, but we gonna smoke this old Newport.
Yep.
And I may bust out
Support.
crying, but I just yes,
You just need it.
yes,
Women should support each other.
yes,
A lot of women
Yes.
are scared to talk about some of their
Need
female
support.
problems.
Yes.
Or,
Yes.
because they're scared of judgment. And I feel like friends need to let friends know that they're a safe place.
Yeah.
And sometimes women have to teach other women how to be a good friend.
Ooh.
Because like you said.
Now
you
wait,
weren't
you
taught.
preaching, baby. Hold on, daughter. Hold on now. I had to take the church glasses off. You preaching now, daughter. You
You touched on it. And there's a lot of black women, I hate to say, haven't
Yeah.
taught their daughters how to admire another black woman.
Yes.
Instead, we grow up as if we're in competition
Yeah.
with each other when
Yeah.
we're not. So
Yeah.
when we see another woman doing good, instead of congratulating and say, dang, how can I get there?
Yeah.
What can I take from her? Look at her.
Yes.
It's always
Yes.
immediately
Yes.
go to the negative.
Yeah. Yeah.
So sometimes you have to spread love to your friends, and even when they're doing wrong,
Yeah.
you don't cut them off unless they just
Yeah.
keep doing it. But you try
Yeah.
to show them,
Yeah.
like a kid,
That's
because
Yeah.
better.
I've learned that some people's perception of life may be different of yours based off experience.
Mm-hmm.
So if they don't know or they've never been shown,
Mm-hmm.
we're faulting them for something that they have no clue of.
Right.
But once it's addressed,
Yeah. And you may have to keep addressing it
keep addressing it
because
till they
it's
learn.
new to them.
Yeah.
It's like loving on somebody is new, and you may have somebody like I tell people around me that I love them. I be like, I love you, and you could always tell people that don't hear it because they pause. They
Yeah,
like
look at you.
Yeah.
they look at you. They be like, you don't even know me. I say, but listen, the God in me loves the God in you,
Yeah.
and I love you for who you are. And if you was a person, and if something happened, I'm gonna fight just as hard for you, knowing you 20 minutes as if I knew you 20 years.
Yes.
So
Yes.
for some people, love is new and it's hard, and it trickles over, like you said, in our daughters, in our nieces, and all the young women around us. And then I'm gonna say this: a lot of it has to do with how we were raised,
Yes.
Yeah.
what our mama said to us, and okay, our mothers or the women that raised us, for the most part, only did what they knew how to do.
Exactly.
So if their words was harsh and all of that, they didn't know how to deliver that energy
Right.
with love.
Yeah.
Because nobody loved them right.
Right.
Nobody hugged on them and said it would be okay. So when they would say, get your dumb ass over here.
Yes.
And you like,
Like,
I'm
dang.
dumb again.
Wow.
Right.
That's
Dang.
I couldn't imagine saying that to my daughter.
But you learn that.
Yeah.
Fathers
Learn
need to
that.
hear people
Talk
coming
to
in
their, yes,
and I'm just
yes.
like,
Yeah.
okay.
But it's okay. They think it's okay.
You know, not everybody grew up on love. Some people grew up on survival.
Right.
You
Yes.
know, it depends on
Oh,
how you
come on
grew
now.
up. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? So,
Yes.
know, when you felt love, you know how to give love, but not everybody knows how to receive it.
And
You
it
know
feels
what I'm
funny.
And
It
you know,
does.
Receiving love.
Yes, receiving
That's
the
another
love.
thing.
and
Yeah.
let me say this.
Learn
If you
how to
are
receive
out there
love.
and you grew up like that and you grew up in a negative environment, take a step back and look at how you are raising yours and loving on yours. And if you are giving them that love that you were taught and it wasn't right, love your child different.
Ooh.
Love everybody around you different.
Yeah.
Break the cycle.
Yes. And you have to,
Generational
yes, it's a generational curse. And you have to relearn all of that. And this bothers me. When I hear when women say,
Yes, definitely.
yes, yes.
Bitter women raising bitter kids.
And then they got a bitter son. And when women
Yes.
say,
Oh my God.
I'm going to raise my son to be a man, I'm going to marry. Baby,
No.
listen. Listen. We seen your dates. We seen it. And just because you have a wedding does not mean it's going to be a marriage. You want to raise your children to be better
Yes.
and greater. And whatever you don't have, you want them to communicate better and live better and make better choices, especially the young men. Our young men, I just be wanting to grab them and just give them
Yes.
a grandma hug, like, shut up.
Yeah. I love on mine.
You
And
have
they,
to.
You know, they love on each other. And
They have to. How old are your babies?
They're 14 and 16. That's what I'm teaching them.
Yeah.
You know, I want them to love and have friendships and things that, you know,
Yes.
because, you know, we never see that a lot.
We
With
don't.
the black
We
men.
don't.
You don't
We don't.
see them just, oh, hey, man, what's up? No.
Yes.
We love you. We all love each other, you know.
And
we got to teach them that.
And we taught that is gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that man, I don't do that, it's gay. No, it ain't.
If y'all
Everything that's emotional is not gay.
from a man, that's what they try to make it seem.
I ain't. Yes, sir. You soft. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, you the softest out this tough acting group. You soft.
Yes, you are.
Because if I hug you, you gonna do like this. You ever hug somebody and they just collapse in your arms?
Like,
Because that's what they needed.
They
Yes.
needed it so bad.
They like, and you be like, damn, did they collapse in my arms? And they be standing there, and then you hear them breathing hard. I be like, is they finna cry? Because if they cry, no, I'm gonna cry.
right.
Oh, I'm like,
Man.
you can cry, but you gonna go cry in the car now.
Yeah.
That's what you gonna do. You're not about to wet up my shirt.
They will.
Here for you.
And you got the little snot right here on your shirt.
Yes.
You be like,
Right.
You know, I put them germs on me. You got a
Right.
sinus infection.
You know. Yeah, you just have to leave that on there till you get home.
Right.
Put a tissue on it, tuck it in your bra like this till you get home. We need love. We need conversations. I'm learning more as I get older. You got to create boundaries. You can't, and you cannot create them once you start.
Right.
You got to create boundaries right here.
Yeah.
You got to create them
They
here.
know.
yes, you
at
have
the
to
top.
create it at the jump. Because
Yes.
when you don't,
Yes,
then it's all hell breaking.
yes.
You know what I'm
And when you
saying?
go back and try to create them,
It's no, they don't understand. They won't even understand. Like,
why you acting like that? Yeah.
Act up
Yeah.
funny. Oh wow, you know
And
what I'm saying?
Yes.
Speaking of boundaries, like how hard, like as far as being a woman in a male dominant, profession, setting boundaries for yourself. Like, cause I know with, in all types of situations when you have certain jobs and women come in, they get teased, they get, when it's mainly male.
hard.
So
It's
how do
hard.
you set your boundaries and allow them to keep being respectful towards you being a woman?
I cried a lot. I cussed a lot. You literally have to, that whole stand your ground. You got to stand your ground. You got to really whatever your convictions are, you got to stand that. And if you think about it, women that are in the industry, because men always talk about women got to be feminine, but women that are in certain industries, and especially in the entertainment industry, you have to have a hard side to you.
Yes.
Because you want this man to understand, sir, listen, you're going to pay me my money. You're not coming to my room. I don't boo-boo where I eat, so give me my money, because I will fight you.
Yes.
And
Honey.
I'm going to tell y'all a story, real life. I will fight you, give me my money. So you do set the boundaries. And once they figure out she's not playing,
Yeah.
then they respect it.
Exactly.
Okay.
But I didn't cuss them out. Sometimes I'd have been on the road. And the good thing is wherever I go, I always meet somebody. So when I go back, I'll be like, hey, y'all, listen, I be in Arizona doing a show. They be like, we got you. And a lot of the people that have supported me have been the biker world, like the biker communities. Like if I'm going to Arizona, I'll be like, hey, listen, y'all, I'm coming. They be like, we're going to be at the show. And I get to the venue and it's 40, 50, 60 bikes outside. So they with me the rest of the day. If I'm in town, somebody with me making sure I'm okay. And everybody like, oh, okay, she know them. They gonna do whatever.
Okay.
But you gotta set boundaries. You gotta command respect. If you slip up for whatever reason and you sleep with somebody, you gotta own that.
Right.
You gotta be like, yeah, I did sleep with so and so. I'm gonna have to own that. Yeah, I took an L because all his jokes he talking about how good his hookup is, and it was trash.
No.
God.
It was trash.
Like, damn.
Yeah, and I done took a whole, listen, telling my business. Camera right here.
Yeah.
So listen, many years ago in the land far, far away, right? Auntie took one for the team.
She's standing her truth.
Yeah.
I'm standing butt naked in my truth. And it was trash. All he did was talk about how big it was, and a lot of the women tell me, girl, you see how big that thing is? It'll put your eye out. Look at me. Y'all looking at me? It was trash. It was so trash that we was in the bed together and he was giving me that little mouth treat. I fell asleep. And started snoring. I did. And I was snoring. You know how you start snoring and you catch yourself?
Yeah.
He was like, I know you ain't sleep. And he kind of jiggled my thigh like this.
As a matter of fact, that's exactly what I was doing.
But it was that deep snoring, like, it was that from here. And he was like, what's wrong with you? I said, I ain't trying to be funny, but you might want to get rid of that joke because on stage you got people thinking it was and I don't, okay, so it was trash to me.
Trying to find.
And then, and then later on, years later, me and a group of female comics was talking, and his name came up, and we all looked at each other the same way, and they was like, I said, yeah, they was like, girl, it was trash, it was garbage, it was trash. I want to set it on fire. It was trash.
Oh my God.
Especially after you didn't talk about it like that. Come on now. You know what I'm saying?
That was his gig, though.
Straight garbage.
That's what made him.
Yeah, listen. How about he don't even do comedy no more? And
So the joke was on
The
him.
joke was on him, okay?
And we
The
was like-
last laugh.
I said, so big. He was like, girl, listen. They said, I fell asleep. I said, I did too.
Oh.
I was snoring from down in my chest. It was
Now the other women, are these other women?
they
So,
other comedians. They still in the game. They
now
still-
with the women in comedy, now was it easy? Like, do you guys immediately? Well, probably back in the day, was it immediate acceptance, or did it
No.
take a minute because of women?
it takes a while.
Once again, that competitive mindset.
It's that, and it's like athletes.
Yeah.
So it's a competitive mindset, and then you watching another comic to see what subject matter she talking about. So if I'm doing a show and I'm working with women that I've never worked with, I want to hear what they're talking about. And I want to hear how they deliver it. And I want to hear how they set it up for two reasons. I don't want to go on stage behind them and do a similar joke
Right.
the same way or the same premise or the same concept. And B, I'm listening like just to see how creative they are. So I'm listening like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. So you listen for that, you listen for the content. And then some women, and I don't just want to say women, but some women are very confrontational. And it's always a problem. Is yeah, because I done worked with everybody. And I'm always the person like sitting in the corner and I ain't saying nothing.
It's a Detroit in you.
Yeah, that's what it is. And I'm peeping the hood.
Really strong, right?
Peeping the scene, and they like, yeah, because I didn't work with so and so and so and so and blah 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 blah, and the conversation always comes up. How long you been in comedy? So they talking about, I've been doing it 10 years and whatever, and da, da, da. So I'm just listening. So I'm off in the corner. They be like, how long you been doing it, Coco? I'll be like, listen, 30. Or however, it's been 32 years now. And they be like, for real? Yeah. So all the people you talking about that you done worked with, I done worked with them several times. But it's not a competition.
Right.
But don't make it one.
Yeah.
Don't create aggression and animosity when you don't have to. But some women, I learned, it's always a problem. It's always an argument. It's yeah, I told them to fly me in. And here's the crazy part. They not even the star of the show. Okay, let's start with that. Yeah, I told him to fly me in on such and such because I don't fly such and such airline. And then when you see him on stage, you be like, shit, you should have walked.
Right.
I'll be like, they flew you in.
Damn, not even the Greyhound.
Yeah, listen. And you didn't blew your spot up, and then you come on stage and be like, yeah, the audience wasn't feeling it. hard. They bomb.
Right.
Yeah, that's a whole
Yeah.
bombing is a whole nother experience because you just you want to set yourself on fire and just run off stage. There's nowhere you could go.
Oh.
It's like I bombed and I got to be on stage 15 more minutes.
Right.
Yeah, I can't dig myself out this hole, and I'm just gonna finish my time and say thank y'all, good night, and walk off stage and go to my hotel room because I did not have a. I learned early from some of the cats like. So I worked with the Cedric Entertainers, D.L. Hughley, Bernie Mac, Paul Mooney, Dick Gregory. I worked with them, and I would always sit in their face like a little kid, and I would ask them questions. So listen, y'all. They was like, "What do you want?" I'd be like, "So listen, if you got this and this," they said, "Yeah." And those people are always willing to teach if they know you listening.
You serious?
Yes. So I would always be around them, and they would tell me, if you have a bad show, it's never the audience's fault. Because out of 2, 3, 4, 5,000 people, however many people it is, you should have some material in your bag that's gonna reach somebody.
Yes.
But when you on stage and you bombing, and it's two ways to bomb. You bomb where people start talking to each other, be like, "Girl, where you get your nails done?" And you looking at them, and they having this conversation. "So where you get your nails from? So where you from in St. Louis?" And you like, "Oh my God!" Or it's this. They do you like this,
That look like.
and it turned into a library. Man, listen.
Yes.
I think the library is worse
Really?
because everybody is quiet. Because people followers. So if y'all get quiet, everybody else gonna get quiet. And you like, oh, these quiet. Oh, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just take all my clothes off naked. I'm gonna sit here naked. I done had all kind of crazy thoughts. I'm like, I'm gonna take, okay, no, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna just take my bra off and pull it through my sleeve.
Became a magician. Not
because
doing magic.
You
You
thinking of all this, and then you got a clock on stage, and you still got 15 minutes.
Oh my God. Yes.
And you want to come on stage, but if you come on stage, then they're gonna cut your money. I'd be like, well, y'all, we just gonna sit here for about 15 more minutes because I ain't gonna cut my money. And since y'all ain't listening to me, shut up. I'm like, oh my goodness. Shut your fat ass up. I'm like, oh, I'm finna fold. Fold. Thank God that hasn't happened to me in years.
Oh, but somebody actually said that?
Oh my goodness, listen. How many times in the 32 years that I've done comedy have I said, you know what? I'm gonna quit comedy and go back to nursing. I said, this is too hard. And every time I think about it, I'm like, no, I got to keep going. It's just, it's a drug. Like, when I go on stage, it's like I get high. I get my high.
Yeah.
And the blessing for me is to be able to live and operate in my gift. When you find out what your gift is, and you be like, wait a minute, I get to live in my gift, and I get to bless other people, and I get to make people laugh, and I get the chance to interact with people. Okay, God, I'm gonna do this one more day. And it's hard.
Yeah.
Because then when you get home, you're like, okay, I'm sleepy, I want to go to sleep. But you got to come down off that high. Because you hear, and your body got to settle back down. So I may get home from a show at midnight, but I may not settle down to like 2 o'clock. So I'm like, okay, I'm watching Joyce Myers and Creflo Dollar. I'm watching everything. I didn't meditate and I didn't draw water.
Now,
And then it take a minute.
Now let's take it back a little bit. So you mentioned you almost gave up and went back into nursing. So let's talk about your upbringing a little bit and how you got into comedy and just, because nursing, like medical.
Yes.
And then comedy, helping, taking care of people. And now you got to make people laugh.
So here's the thing. I knew that I had a gift. And I really didn't know what my gift was. I thought it was going to be singing because I sung the majority of my life. I sung when I was a kid, sung in the choir when I was in elementary school, high school. I did plays. I did all of that. When I got out of high school, I had a band and I did all of that. And then I kind of stepped away and I said, I always told myself if I ever get pregnant, I was going to have my child. So I met my daughter's father, and
He didn't have 12 kids, did he?
no.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
well, listen. The ladies loved him. Oh,
Wow.
you ain't it. No, we gonna come back to that. So, met my daughter's father, got pregnant, had my daughter. I was in there, went to college, and my major was special ed, child psychology, and I had a minor in performing arts. That's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
But I still want to be a rep. I still want to run the streets, rah rah, click clack, all of that. So left college, and my mother was like, "Okay, so what you
gonna do now?"
You gotta do something." So I started nursing school. I went to nursing school. I met my daughter's father. And was doing really good in nursing school, but going to clinicals and being in the hospital and all of that would make me sick. So I quit nursing school, had my daughter, went back to nursing school, and I was doing my thing, working as a nurse and all of that. But I always knew this was not, it was what I like, and I love people. I love people, and comedy and nursing is the same thing. Your patients just look different.
I get it.
Yeah, They just look different. So, doing my thing, working as a nurse, and my sister had a stroke, stress-related stroke. She didn't drink, she didn't smoke, she didn't do none of that. She was 38 years old. She had a stroke, and about 2 weeks after she had the stroke, she died. And I was literally about to lose my mind, because this was like, she was 10 years older than me, but it's like, okay, this is my shooter, this is my girl, all of that. So when she passed, I was like, it was 91. Black people don't get therapy. We ain't do therapy. We talk to somebody on the phone, smoke some bumpy face gin. What's that gin? Seagram's gin with the bumpy face on it. Why you look like that? Because listen, me and Seagram's gin and lemon lime juice, the Everfresh lemon lime.
Jeez.
They used to get me together. I'd be like this. So that was my thing. And one of my friends called me. She said, listen, we do an amateur night at the bar with the comedian. She said, you need to come down here. I was like, okay. So this time of year, it was in April. I went down, and it bit me. And I really didn't think about, well, I did kind of think about what I wanted to talk about. And I went on stage, and I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do. Like, I want to be a comedian. This is what I want to do, and all of that. So I will work as a nurse during the day, go home, get my daughter ready, get her ready for bed, give her her bath, get her fed, and I was in the streets 4-5 nights a week. And I would be at work like this. They be like, Walton, you okay? I be like, I done drunk about 8 cups of coffee, and I was smoking squares too. I was smoking Newport 100. So I done went and smoked about 5 squares and had about 5 cups of coffee. I'm like, okay. Because I'm like, okay, I got to go back out in the streets. So I did that from 92, 93, 94. The radio station started calling me to come host events, and like, hey, Mason would call me like, hey, we doing ladies night out, come host this or come do comedy. I was like, okay. Well, we're going to send you this, we're going to pay you this. I'm like, okay. So I started cutting my hours back. I went from full-time to part-time, working midnights and all of that. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do this. And I told my mother, I said, I'm going to quit my job as a nurse and do comedy full-time. She said, you a damn fool.
So you was stepping out on faith.
Yeah, it was, listen. She said, I could see if you wanted to sing.
Right.
She said, but you finna quit nursing and do comedy. I said, yeah. Oh, okay, so you're going to be like Richard Pryor or somebody like that. I said, yeah. But knowing my mother's background, being from the South, being born in 1930, because my mother was a nurse, being born in 1930, her vision of entertainment was, oh, you could sing, but you really you gonna stand on stage in front of people. And then she was like, well, don't tell none of my business on stage. I'm like, I can't wait to talk about your ass on stage. So I quit. Did the thing, started doing stuff with the radio, and got the call September of 96.
Okay.
So I would go on the show, and Mason was like, you should really think about doing radio full time. I said, I'm not gonna get up this early in the morning.
Right.
He said, no. I said, you got to get up at 4 o'clock to be here at 5:30. Oh, you could do it. I'm like, man, I ain't finna do that. I'm not finna do that. So one of my friends called me that worked in production at the station. He said, hey, they're gonna call you and ask you, do you want to work full time? I said, man, I can't do that much. I got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
And black people don't want to get up.
Every morning when the covers is like this, where you got the cover like this, and you got a little piece of boyfriend that's laying next to you,
Right.
a little half a man, you know, got a little half a man for that week. You got a little Cletus laying next to you.
Right.
You like him a little bit because you didn't help him pay his tickets off. So you
Right.
like, oh
Yeah.
Man. And why do we do that as women? But we'll talk about that.
yeah, we gonna fix the man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Build
The,
a man.
Yes.
the men we put together like this and teach them how to read, all that.
Do his resume, send it
Resume,
application.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interview form if
If you could. Like, if they're going to be online.
yeah, we know it. Hey, you know they over at Triumph doing expungement, so you get.
Right.
So I mean, literally. So I went. They called me in. I went in for the interview, and I called my boy Raymond Lambert, and Raymond was one of the owners of the comedy club. All jokes aside, so it was one in Chicago, and one in Detroit.
Okay.
So I said, Raymond, listen, the radio station called me, and I don't know how to negotiate my money. So he said, well, call my friend Chris in Chicago, and he'll help you. So I called this man Chris, and I said, hey, Raymond told me to call you. He said, what you trying to do? I said, JLB wants me to be a part of their morning team, and I don't know what kind of money to ask for, because that was out of the scope. He said, okay, I got you. So I started in September. I didn't get a check to December. And it was like 6 or 7 checks that I got. And when I got the checks, no, Chris sent me the contract. And I kept looking, I said, I can never make this much money. So you telling me if I get up at 4 o'clock and I talk from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock, this the kind of money I'm gonna be making? But see, I didn't know that just because you off the air, you ain't off the job. And you gotta go out and be a part of the community, and you gotta do all this stuff. So I went to the bank, and the lady was talking loud. I told her, what you do? Why you got all... I'm like, hey, bitch, wait a minute. You about to get me robbed in this little punk ass bank?
Right.
Because I didn't know. So fast forward, Raymond wrote a book about comedy. And in the movie, Raymond wrote a book, and he did a documentary about the business of funny. So we at the Charles H. Wright Museum, and the guy, Chris, who I had been talking to on the phone, was Chris Gardner, the guy that Will Smith played in The Pursuit of Happiness.
Oh, okay.
So when I saw it in the movie, I'm boo-hooing. Everybody's like, why is she crying? So afterwards, I said, Raymond, why you didn't tell? He said, it'll make a difference. And I remember my last conversation with Chris was, I said, oh, Chris, how much do I owe you? He said, you don't owe me nothing. I said, sir, listen, you understand, this is the most money that I've ever made in my life. And I know I owe you. I know you work with entertainers and athletes. He said, you don't owe me anything. Just make sure whenever you can help somebody. Oh, okay. Whenever you can help somebody, help them. I said, okay. And it wasn't until years later that I found out who he was. So when I get an opportunity to help somebody, I did. And I sent him a big floral bouquet.
Help.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
Listen, I'm that person. I'm the plug to the plug. What you need, girl? I got the hook up inside and outside. We'll talk after the show. You know, the cameras is hot. But when I get an opportunity to pay it forward, I pay it forward. I send him some flowers and a nice handwritten thank you note. And radio was amazing. But it's a lot go with that.
We just hear you on the radio and think, oh, they talk, and after they done, they clock out and go home.
If you really think about it, Coco was not only on one morning show because you went over to, well, JLB was purchased by Clear Channel, and you were with
I was with
Foolish.
Yep.
And,
So I did. Yep. I did JLB. Then I was on the mix. That was when they were shifting gears. So the Mix 92.3, they were owned by the same company. And then I went in one day and they was like, but okay, so you know when they letting you go from a job. Let me say that. So everybody was acting goofy. for like a week. I said, why everybody acting goofy? And then they started running Charlemagne's show, rerunning it on Saturday mornings. I said, okay. Then they said, well, we want you to do mornings on Saturdays on the mix from 10 to 2. I said, okay, that's what y'all niggas do. Okay. So I went in one morning. It was a Friday, January 2014, and everybody was looking crazy. I said, okay. They finna let me go. They called me in the office, and they was like, have a seat. I said, listen, whatever y'all gonna do, y'all gonna have to tell me standing up. And I will never forget the white guy. He was like, no, we want you to sit down. I said, no, I'm not gonna sit down.
Right.
Clear Channel was cold.
Yeah, because you know they call security and the police, and they got corporate police and all that stuff that they call in case you want to show out. I said, listen, I ain't showing out. So I looked around and I saw an envelope with my name on it. I said, well, this is mine. He said, well, wait. I said, it's my name, so whatever in here got to be about me.
Right.
So I picked the envelope up. I said, thank you. It's been wonderful. I gave him my key. I gave him my key card and everything. And I went out the door and went on about my business. So nice severance package. And I sat still for a while. And the radio world know when you left. So I immediately got a call from Radio One, but you got to wait 6 months before you start. So iHeart, it's not iHeart now. They let me go in January 2014, and then I started with Radio One in June of 2014. Radio is very consuming. You got to be able to separate your life, anything in the media, anything, especially now for you ladies, podcasts and all that, because you got to separate your worlds. You got to say, okay, this is this, and if you got children, this is this, and then if you're trying to date and have a little punk ass relationship, that's a whole nother thing, because somebody gonna tell him, oh yeah, oh your girl was talking about you this morning on the air. So if he insecure, my boy said you was talking about me on the air. What? Man, I'm sitting here with cramps, and it feel like my whole hookup about to fall out. And you call.
You talking about this bitch?
If you don't get off my phone, but I love it. I love it. I've learned so many things, and I always want to share with women. Stand your ground, hold your position, learn everything about what you're doing, be creative, bring something to the table, and just do what you're passionate about. Just push your passion, do what you're passionate about, and just go for it. And set your boundaries in the beginning.
Because if you don't stand for something, you're
gonna fall for everything.
You know,
Everything.
anything and everything.
Yeah,
for sure.
everything.
Be supportive of
Other women. Yes.
Women tend to break apart. Like if my friend is doing good or doing better than me, I want to promote her.
Yes.
I want to speak life. Girl, keep doing it. You doing
Yes, you got this. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be
you.
But we have to be
making
taught
money
that.
now.
Yes.
You have to be taught that. And I would try to teach my daughter, like, when your friend, like, congratulate your friends. And if your friends don't have as much as you, that don't mean they can't be your friend.
Right. They're still
You
your
know what I'm
friend.
saying? Don't brag about your stuff to them or nothing like that, or try to make them feel some type of way. But sometimes you have to teach your friends how to be your friend.
And you want better for them. It's crazy if I'm pulling up in a brand new G-Wagon and my girls ain't got one, or they not listen, and they may not want a G-Wagon, but we need the conversation of, I got a guy that do credit. Y'all credit straight? Okay, listen, you trying to buy a house. I got somebody that'll walk you through the process. I got a good attorney if you need an attorney. We got to have those healthy conversations.
Yes.
You been to the doctor, get your pap smear. You been to your
mammogram.
Yes, you went to get your mammogram. Listen, sis, you've been stressing. I got a plug at the Marriott. Why don't you just take a couple days at the Marriott? I watch the kids and do, because it's stressful.
Stuff like that.
Sometimes you just want to lay in the bed. I am a hotel mistress. I just want to lay in the bed. and I get a room with 2 beds because I sleep in one bed one night and the other bed the next night. And I just want to lay in the bed and eat something I ain't supposed to be eating and chill. But you got to have people in your life that support you and say, listen, you good. Be like, I'm okay. I'm on my way over.
You have to have a good village.
Yes.
A good
You're
village.
on my way over
Not
with the
just
robe and the
children.
trench coat on like
We
this.
have to have a village
And be
also.
cussing. Be cussing like.
Women need a
We
village.
need a village.
Yeah.
Friends.
Yes.
We go through so much as women, being mothers, going through relationships,
Yes.
stuff with your kids,
Yes.
stuff with your friends. You need that
You do.
mental support.
You do.
have to take
You do.
time for yourself
You do.
as a woman, ladies. Even if it's just an hour or two. If you can't take a weekend to yourself, take an hour.
Selfish with yourself.
Be
You
selfish
do,
with
you
yourself.
do.
Yeah,
And
there's
selfish
nothing
ain't the
wrong with it.
nails and the pedicure and the eyelashes. Selfish is really taking some self care and letting your friends know. Listen, you good? Let me go over there. I'm on my way. No, don't come. They know not to call me because I'm coming crazy.
Oh yeah.
I'm coming with one titty hanging out with the thaka. I got
Yeah,
the thaka.
listen.
I'm riding up with the thaka
Oh no, I'm
in my hand. I'm pulling up like.
say I'm pulling up like with it.
If they call
And the
me,
guy stand on the
friends
porch
did
like,
that.
hey, Coco, we good? No, man, come here. Let me talk to you for a minute.
Why
Get
you
in the
calling
car.
him over here? What you doing over here, Bonnie? You
Yeah.
ain't
yeah.
playing.
Get in the car.
I
The
went
pistol
to-
sitting on the
yeah.
console. He's like, listen,
If
sir.
he about to fight you, he about to fight us.
Oh, yeah, we
But
tear
you
the
know what,
joint up.
intern, any man that don't want you to do better and want you to be better,
Yeah.
he's not a man.
Yes.
He's not the man.
And he definitely not your man.
No,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Now let's because we're gonna have you come back.
I'll
Yes,
come back.
definitely
About
come
some stuff.
back.
But,
I'll come back.
but before we run out of time, I want to talk about so you're with Eye Wide Open Entertainment. You have something coming up with
So, okay.
that. How
So,
to get into that?
making that promise to Chris when I said if somebody needs some help, I would help them. So, this industry is of industry. You got to learn that sometimes you got the money, but the money don't get you where you need to be.
Yeah.
And sometimes people know you got the money and they'll take advantage of you. They be like, oh, they doing the show? Yeah, they need. I be like, you ain't got to do all that. Let me help you. So they came to me. They had a conversation. And I'm like, well, what you trying to do? Okay, let me help you out. Make a couple phone calls. I don't want you to lose nothing. Even when you go to rent a theater, if the people that you rent the theater from know that you really don't know, they're not going to really tell you everything. So they're not, because people make money off your ignorance.
It doesn't hurt their business if they don't. They just
Entertainment is a multi-trillion-dollar industry. So if you coming in to spend $10, $15, $20,000 to rent a venue and you decide to go with someone else, they don't even care. They haven't even factored your money into the equation.
No.
They ain't even added your money in yet. So when you know what to say and you know how to say it, and then you go back and they say, well, they said they need this. And I be like, they don't need that. Tell them that you need this. And you could always tell that what information that you've given them, because they'll ask the person, who's working with you behind the scenes? Oh, I didn't tell you. I'm working with Coco. Oh, that's our friend. We love her. Bring her in. We love the whole tune.
Right, right.
Bring her in. We love her.
See?
But you know that I done told them, you ain't got to spend your money on that. But if they could sell you that, they're like,
They will.
You need these special curtains, and they're going to be
See?
$5,000 to
Yeah.
rent the curtain. Man, dig this. I'm going to bring some Amazon curtains in here. I don't need all that.
right.
But they know that you don't know.
Right.
So in our world, a lot of people monetize off your ignorance. It's just like if you're going to buy hair or you going to get a car or whatever. If you don't know, they make money off of it.
Yes.
If you got a 501c3, it's a whole process that you can go through and get that new car in your business name. But the car dealer not gonna tell you that. Yeah, the car dealer ain't gonna tell you that. They ain't gonna say, "Oh, you got a 501c3. We really gonna need a down payment from you." It's a whole different set of papers that you fill out. But people make money off of your ignorance. They're not gonna tell you when you go in there and be like, "Yeah, so I got a 501c3 and here's my paper and here's this and here's my mission statement. I need that 2024 Cadillac back there."
See?
Oh, well, who told you this? And they go in the other room, be like, "What's that shit in there?" But you're not even like this.
Yeah.
With the head.
Yeah.
So when you know, and don't be afraid to ask somebody.
Mhm.
You gotta ask folks.
That's something that we as people have to learn to do, because we'll try and do so much
By
by
ourselves.
ourselves,
Yes.
off our knowledge,
Be messed
and
up.
our ignorance.
Yep.
Yes.
And and then we end up like, why did this happen? Being prideful. Sometimes you gotta let that ego go.
Yes, you
Oh
do.
yeah. Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
you have to
Absolutely.
depend on other people. Like she
Yeah.
just said, we need a village as adults.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know
Oh
what
my
I'm saying?
God.
We need-
Absolutely.
We
Yeah.
need encouragement as adults, and not
Every
just
day.
from family.
But
I
every
need
day.
encouragement from the people that I'm around every
Every
day.
day.
We're at work more than we are at home.
Yep.
And this is what our surroundings are. So you want to have that.
And we've
So-
been programmed to work until 20 minutes before we die. And then 20 minutes before you die, you come home, you take 2 trips, And they be like, what happened? Girl, she was sitting on the porch. She died. She just retired. She did 45 years at the plant. No,
Yeah.
we have to change our mindset. We need to know that we can start a business. We can create a business. We can buy property. We can do these things in our children's name. And it's no different. They do it.
Yes.
But it's not
They
set
do
up to teach
And
like
it's,
that. We
it's,
have
it's,
to get that knowledge.
we got to seek the information. The Bible said, my people perish from lack of knowledge. The knowledge and information there, but we got to seek it.
Yes.
Yes.
See?
You got to seek it, and you got to. I'm still learning.
Yeah.
It's things that I'm still learning. Like, oh, okay. Well, then I could do that. Okay, then I'm gonna do that. Okay, so I need this. Even having a podcast, you could get sponsors and say, listen, give us X amount of dollars. And today's show has been brought to you by
Yes.
da 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 da.
Yeah.
And they'll give you $500. Or today's show is brought to you by so and so, because they want the numbers to turn around. And then once you put your podcast on YouTube and people could go back and see it, however many times they want to see it, it moves the number for them. Absolutely. But nobody's gonna tell you that. So you got to just talk to people, have a conversation, and all of that stuff. And it's a process, but once you get into it and you start to feel better, and you got, okay, I ain't got to work till I'm just balled up in a knot. It's beneficial, especially for your children and grandchildren, because I got a grandchild. So especially for them, just teaching them stuff and putting them in position and teaching them how to move and how to conduct themselves and how to have a conversation. It just makes life a little easier for you.
Right.
Because you ain't gonna be like, you know what?
Have to have those conversations.
Yes. Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
have those
And it's and sometimes it's painful. And then we embarrassed because we don't know. But don't be embarrassed, because who taught us? It's just like conversations about our body.
It's uncomfortable when you've never done it before.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get used to it. No.
Our mamas,
better.
you do better.
We got pretty ladies in the audience.
Yes. Hey, ladies.
Okay. So we want to thank Coco, the queen of comedy, the auntie.
No, Detroit.
Everything. Detroit's queen.
I am the unofficial mayor of Highland Park. I'm gonna come back and do the show, because we're gonna have a whole conversation about coochie care. Because
Yes.
We got somebody that does coochie
Yes,
care
we
too.
gonna do
We
the
gonna-
steam.
we're gonna have to talk about it, because if you putting vinegar in your hookup, you ain't doing nothing but making a pickle.
Yeah.
And
Dry.
it look like this.
Listen.
Putting vinegar.
You know, come on now.
You ain't got, just drink you some water and take care of yourself. And if you want to douche, baking soda and water is the best thing to. We'll talk about that later on. We'll come back.
So, on June 18th of this year.
Yeah, Father's Day.
Father's Day.
I forget the whole
Day.
Yeah, hey, daddies.
Yeah. The men always say it's nothing for Father's Day. But this year,
It's a
it's
whole
a
show.
Father's Day comedy show, okay?
Absolutely. Michael Collier, Josh, I'm hosting.
We'll put this up.
Yes, I'm hosting. Michael Collier is the headliner. Josh Adams, Cletus Cassidy. We got 2 packages. One of the packages is you get regular seat, general admission, and all that. Then we got the VIP seating where you get to meet and greet afterwards. We're gonna have food and we're gonna take pictures and all of that. Come on out. We at the Flagstar Strand in Pontiac. Come on out. Buy your dad some tickets and spend that bonding time. Because the same thing, your daddy did what he could. And he probably, and I don't even want to get into this thing, but he might have left because just like nobody teaches us how to be mamas, nobody teaches them how to be fathers. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Yep.
They gonna do that after they do the coochie talk.
Yeah, we'll talk about
After
that.
And be sure to follow IY Entertainment on
Yes.
Eye wide
Facebook.
open.
Eye wide-
Entertainment.
Wide open
Eye wide open,
entertainment.
yes.
Wide open. And that's who's bringing this Father's
That's
Day.
who bringing the Father's
Coco,
Day show.
Michael Collier, and she said Josh Adams.
Josh Adams and Cletus Cassidy.
And Cletus.
And
Cletus.
follow me.
Country
Follow,
name right
ain't
there.
that he comes with apples. Follow me. I'm Ginger Hudson on Facebook, and I'm Coco the Don't ask about
She
Ginger.
said Jennifer. Who
I'm Ginger.
Yes, I saw that. I see that on your podcast.
This
I keep looking like, who is
Ginger Hudson is me, because I had an intern and he was going to broadcasting school, and I was just helping him navigate through the way. And we went out to eat and we took a picture and we posted the picture, and the young lady he was dating, his phone kept ringing. I said, answer the phone. I said, no, she tripping. She was on the phone screaming, oh, you gonna bring her to church now? I guess y'all sleeping together. I said, oh, but right after that, my page got hacked. So Ginger Hudson is my Facebook page. I didn't want to use my real government name. And then I'm Coco the Comic on Facebook. And then I'm on LinkedIn and all of that. So yeah, Ginger Hudson on Facebook, Coco the Comic on Instagram. But follow me. I got some great stuff going on. And I still got a few hookups. We talk.
And don't forget about Father's Day.
Father's Day is gonna be the show. It's gonna be the Father's Day show. It's going all the way down. It's gonna hit the floor and bounce back up.
See?
I like that. So, did you guys?
And you heard about that here
Yes.
on Kicking It with Keisha, KC, and Vonnie.
I like that.
Thank you.
Y'all need some t-shirts with some
Yeah.
glittery boots and stuff on.
Yes.
So, just want to give a special thanks to Eye Wide Open Entertainment for allowing us this opportunity to sit and talk to this legend,
Yeah.
Detroit Queen of Comedy, Coco. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Vonnie. Thank you, KC. Like, I appreciate you guys just creating this sisterhood too. So, good night.
See you next time. That's what you gotta know.
I like that.
That's what you got.